Throughout the course of human history, we've discovered many relics from ancient times that simply don't make sense. We've done our best to explain some of these strange objects and structures, but there's still so much we don't know about the ancient world, so we're often left with more questions than answers. Over the years, we've also found several doorways or gateways that seem as though they could have served an ethereal purpose, maybe even leading us to another dimension or another world. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. Tiahuanaco Sun Gate. Tiahuanaco is a small town that served a great purpose in world history. This small town is located in western Bolivia and has become home to one of the most important archaeological ruins the world has ever seen. The town is located very close to Lake Titicaca and is one of the largest archaeological sites in South America. As far as we can tell, the area contains about 4 square kilometers of land that was once inhabited by an ancient culture, and we've been able to find ceramics, large monuments, megalithic blocks, and many other strange creations. As far as we can tell, the area would have been inhabited sometime around 800 AD and would have been home to about 10,000 to 20,000 people. What makes this area so special is that a lot of their structures seem to reference various gods, as can be seen in many other cultures from this time period as well. Though the land of Tiahuanaco is different, as there's a structure that's only known as the Sun Gate. Aside from the many other pre-Incan artifacts that have been found here, this gate has become a topic of debate for many historians over the years. Some people believe that the inhabitants would have possessed a forgotten form of sacred knowledge and that they built this gate so that they could enter the world of the gods. But we have no idea how they would have been able to do this. If these stories are real, one of the legends tells of a time when a god known as Viracocha entered the realm of the living by passing through the gate, creating humanity in this region. There have obviously been no discoveries that confirm this, but it's an often believed legend in the area, though the real mystery here lies in the blocks that were used to create this gateway. Even though people would have only lived here sometime around 800 AD, the blocks used to create the doorway appear to be from around 14,000 years ago. They're also incredibly large, and it would have been nearly impossible for these people to have lifted, carved, or moved these blocks all those years ago. The structure is also covered in strange carvings and decorations that just don't seem to make sense, such as the depictions of a group of unknown beings that are carved to have rectangular heads. One of the more understandable carvings that can be found on the gate seems to depict a sun god. We don't know much about this god, but the rays that are emanating from his head seem to suggest that he is, without a doubt, the god of the sun. Though this mystery goes even deeper when we look back to the time when it was first discovered. If we look back through history, the first known documentation of the site was back in 1549, when it was discovered by a conquistador from Spain. What makes the discovery so interesting is that it claims the gate was found in a horizontal position. Essentially, it had been tipped over at some point throughout history. Though when the gate was found again a few hundred years later, it had returned to its original upright position. We have no idea who would have repositioned the ancient monument or how they would have been able to accomplish such a thing. So, is it truly possible that this could have been a gateway to another world, and an ancient legion of gods may have returned to straighten out the doorway? The Stargate of Ranmasuyana. Ranmasuyana is one of the most amazing locations that can be found in Sri Lanka. Several decades ago, a team of researchers headed to the area and stumbled across a complex system of underground caves that had been carved into the rock. When they walked through the caves, they say it felt as though they were venturing back in time several thousand years. Though the caves are not necessarily what makes this discovery so incredible, although it is impressive that they were able to chisel the caves out of the rock. Instead, what makes this discovery so amazing is what they found on the walls of the caves. Etched into the walls, the researchers found accurate maps of our solar system and galaxy. We don't know too much about these drawings, as many of the symbols they used don't seem to line up with any symbols we know of today. But it seems like these people were creating complex maps of our solar system thousands of years ago. But how is this possible? Telescopes would not have been invented yet, and this ancient civilization is not known to have had access to any advanced versions of technology. However, what really takes these drawings to the next level is that they're not the only ones that archaeologists have discovered. In fact, drawings like this can be found all around the world, though the cultures of people who created these drawings would have had no way to communicate with one another all those years ago. So how is it that virtually identical drawings have been found in every corner of the Earth? Did they have access to some sort of advanced transportation methods, or were their discoveries inspired by God? Some researchers have ventured as far as to claim the people of Ranmasuyana could have invented an advanced gateway that would have been able to transport them all around the galaxy, maybe even to other parts of Earth. If this is true, they may have also been able to cross over into other dimensions and enter the realm of the gods. Strange gateways and doorways are seen all throughout the Ranmasuyana tunnel system, and it seems like the tunnels simply serve as a hallway for these various doorways. We don't know too much about these people or their culture, but it certainly seems like they were up to something that they may not have wanted the rest of the world to know about. Each of the entryways they've created is lined with maps and atlases that, for lack of better understanding, may have been used to explain what each of the doorways led to. For example, if one of the doorways was marked with a star, it could have transported you to a nearby star. If another was marked with the shape of a planet, it may have transported you to the planet. Keep in mind, this is just a rudimentary understanding of what these gateways may have been able to do, and none of this has been proven. However, we can't help but wonder what these people could have been up to and why they kept it such a secret, going as far as to hide these doorways underground. Abydos. Egypt is home to some of the most perplexing discoveries in the world. Abydos, located in Egypt, is no exception. By all means, Abydos seems to be one of the most mysterious yet oldest archaeological sites we've ever discovered. The area is filled with all sorts of odd images and carvings that don't seem to make sense. Most of these images continue to baffle researchers to this day. By all means, archaeologists feel as though they have a good understanding of what these hieroglyphics and drawings are trying to tell us. However, there are several groups of characters that don't seem to make any sense at all, at least not when you think about the context and historical implications of the carvings. One of the most confusing carvings seems to show images of modern helicopters, as well as war tanks. To take this even further, some of the images even seem to show evidence of flying saucers, but this would have obviously been impossible back then, wouldn't it? A woman named Dorothy Eady would claim to have a vast amount of knowledge of Abydos as the years passed by. Dorothy was born in London, but says that she's a reincarnated version of Pharaoh Seti, the pharaoh who would have ruled over Abydos at the time these carvings were created. This obviously sounds ridiculous. However, researchers were willing to give her a shot and tested her knowledge. She revealed information about Abydos that no one else could have possibly known, even revealing the locations of a few gardens and hidden objects. Dorothy would take things to the next level when she revealed that there used to be doorways that would lead to another dimension. She says that these doorways would lead you to other realms of reality. If this is true, it would change the course of human history forever. However, Dorothy says that these doorways have now been sealed up and that there's no way to access them any longer. She tried several times to get one of the doorways to activate, but it simply wouldn't work. The difficult part about Dorothy's story is that we don't know for sure if she's telling the truth. By all means, her stories seem to be reliable, but we can't say for sure if this is actually the case. Either way, the land of Abydos is shrouded in mystery, and the history behind some of these mysterious structures may never truly be solved. Gobekli Tepe. The story of Gobekli Tepe is one as old as time, almost literally. Gobekli Tepe is estimated to be one of the oldest stone temples in the world, with some researchers claiming it must have been built around 7,000 years before Stonehenge. The site can be found in Turkey and is filled with several ring-shaped structures that have carvings of animals engraved onto them. If you think this sounds strange, you'd be right, because we have no idea what these structures would have been used for. Considering how old they are, it's impressive that humans would have been able to create such amazing works of art. Though back then, rarely did humans create something if it didn't serve a functional purpose. So, what would these strange structures have done all those years ago? Two pillars are located in the middle of the rings, and they're placed in a way that makes them resemble an archway. If this is true, could they have served as a portal to another world? If this is the case, the crude drawings of animals on the rings could have helped the locals identify which portal would take them to which destination. However, it would be pretty far-fetched to claim this for sure. What makes the area even more interesting is that, much like Stonehenge, it's located in a key location where ley lines meet. If you haven't heard about ley lines, they're essentially a series of lines that connect important locations throughout history. It's been theorized that these lines may serve some sort of ethereal purpose, but this hasn't been confirmed. Some researchers seem to believe that T-shaped columns would have originally been stargates that were built around 12,000 years ago. However, until more information is found, we just don't know for sure. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.